Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to another of my Medieval Kingdoms 12-12 tournament battles. We are on to round 3 now, so we're getting very close to seeing the winner of this tournament. So I am putting the tournament bracket up on the screen for you now to take a look at, so you can see who has moved on to round 3 and who has unfortunately been eliminated from round 2. Apologies for not having too many videos out in the last weekend. I've just finished with my university, and I'm kind of reaching a little bit of a burnout phase right now with putting 2 videos out per day. So I will actually be taking next weekend off as well, but I will try to work ahead to make sure you guys do have at least 1 video per day. But I will be also returning to work very, very soon, and I do work 12-hour shifts, so we will probably be back down to 1 video a day, possibly missing a video every other day as well, just because, you know, I do work long hours and I do have a family, so I may not be able to be pumping out 2 videos a day for you guys like I have been over the last 8 months. But yeah, without further ado, we've got HAMDOGCDXX versus HOENN Masters, so let's go ahead and take a look at their battles. Alright guys, welcome to the first battle between HOENN Master and HAMDOGCDXX, and we're taking a look at HOENN Master's army first. He's playing as the Kievan Rus, and he's gone for very heavy archers and very heavy infantry for his build. Decent cav as well. The Kievan Rus is a pretty balanced, has a pretty balanced roster as far as funding goes, so you can bring a good mix of infantry while still not sacrificing your cav. But right in the front lines, he's got 3 units of the Devor. This is a tier 3 heavy bow unit. You can see they've actually got some scaled armor on there as well. Scaled armor with some plate. So they should be very, very good in melee as well as a ranged unit. And then HOENN's gone for 10 units of the dismounted Drazina. Now, these guys are only tier 1, but they've got some really, really nice stats, if you guys see here. Good morale, decent melee attack and melee damage, and the melee defense and armor is really solid as well. Missile block only 32, though, so if they get caught by some crossbows, you will see their numbers start to deplete. And then he has 2 units of the Rus Heavy Spear Militia. He's got 1 on either flank to help out his cavalry. For his cavalry, he's got 3 units of the Vityaz, which is a tier 3 heavy shock cavalry unit. And then way over on this other side here, he's got the unit of Khan's Guard, which is his general's bodyguard. And that would be the general there, hoping to secure victory today for the Rus. And that is it for his force. Over here, looking at HAMDOGCDXX's army, he is playing as the Duchy of Austria. And he's gone with 3 units of Hanseatic infantry for his crossbows. And then he's got 1 unit of Trabantin, which is a tier 2 archer unit, and some really nice mustaches on these guys. Check out that mustache. Really nice there. For his spears, or his main line, he's got 3 units of the Pavis Bergmannen of the late period. So excellent missile block on them. And then on the flanks, he's got 2 units of early Bergmannen. So 5 spears total. And then for his cavalry, he's got kind of a mix here. He's got 1 unit of the Deinsleit, or the Deinslut, tier 2 heavy melee cav. And then he has 2 units of the Austrian Ritter of the late period, so heavy plate armor. And actually, this guy looks really awesome here. Really cool helmet. The other one is way far on the other flank there. For the General's Bodyguard, we've got the Duke's Hairchild, and that's him there. Really nice snow-white beard, goes with the landscape. And for the rest of his infantry in the center, he's got 2 units of the Landsknecht, which is a tier 3 pikeman. He's got 2 units of the dismounted Ritter, which is a tier 2 heavy polearm. He's got 2 units of the Assaultner of the high period. And he's got 1 unit here of the Mache. I think that's how you'd pronounce it. It might be a French unit, Mache. But they kind of looked like the British axemen that HOENN Master did not bring for the Rus. They've got those massive executioner's scythes there. But again, they've got really poor missile blocks, so if HOENN does focus that unit, it will be obliterated. However, that may be the plan all along, because I think this unit is only 300 gold, so very cost-effective unit there. Let's go ahead and put this on play, and really, really like the snowy landscape, so thanks very much, guys, for that. gives a little bit of color to my tournament, but I love snowy battles. It's just makes them so cinematic. But we've got the Devore already in range of the Hanseatic infantry, and it looks like he is starting to focus them down. However, the Hanseatic infantry has a pretty decent missile block. Looking at the man count, it's pretty much even at about just over 2,000 for both of the armies. But now the crossbows are in range, so they are going to be firing down onto the Devore. It doesn't look like... Oh, HOENN is putting his units into shield wall, which is very smart, so that will give them a little bit more missile block. 57. For the Devore, missile block is only 35 for them, so I would maybe want to put these archers into loose formation when going up against the crossbows. However, he only has 3 of them, and it looks like HOENN is focusing them one at a time. You can see some heavy losses here for this unit of Hanseatic infantry. And if HAMDOG does lose his crossbows early on in the battle, that will force him to have to charge the line of dismounted Drazina, which I would not be looking forward to. But look at that, they've got most of their ammo still left, and they're already wavering, which is a big problem. This unit kind of being focused down, but I think he's got 3 of his units focusing this one and 1 focusing this one. The Trebanton over there, though, looked like it was firing fire arrows to affect the morale of the Devore. Looks like the Devore over here is taking some considerable losses, but not too bad. We've got the Austrian Cav close by here, but HOENN is pretty protected on the flanks, and it looks like HOENN does have a little bit of an advantage from when you zoom out, but if you kind of zoom in, you can see that it is pretty flat terrain. It just kind of looks from this way due to the melting of the snow that he's on kind of a hill, but that's not the case. It is a pretty even battle. But yeah, this one, oh no, yeah, the Hanseatic infantry turning to pull back behind the Pavis Bergmannen, but taking considerable losses there. Looks like that other unit did rout, but then is returned. And HAMDOG's pulling back his 2 units of early Bergmannen to protect against the cavalry charges. But the Devore actually have a decent amount of ammo. You can see a couple of them are down to about 2/3 ammo, but they've given these crossbows a pretty bad time. And it's a little bit worrisome that HAMDOG is pulling back his archers and crossbows so far, because that's going to allow the Devore to kind of park almost right up at the Pavis line and then fire at these Landsknecht here. And if he can get rid of the pikemen, that would be a huge win. But it looks like HAMDOG is moving his cavalry kind of back to protect the flank, and HOENN is not going to retaliate because he just doesn't have any backup. If he had some archers nearby to kind of focus down these crossbows and pin them in place, then maybe I would move the cavalry around, but that would kind of be a suicide charge, charging in behind enemy lines like that. But it's pretty calm right now. The skirmish phase looks like it's ended for now, but HOENN is going to start to move his units forward. He's smartly got all of his dismounted Drazina in shield wall, and the Devore over here hopefully is not going to fire down onto the Pavis Bergmannen in the late period, because with them in stationary testudo, they've got 130 missile blocks, so that would just be wasting the precious ammo that the Devore has. Massive line of Drazina moving forwards, though. Looks like we got the Rue Spear Militia kind of moving forwards a little bit. But yeah, HAMDOG's being pretty passive here. He is moving his Assolner and his Bergmannen of the early period over to the flanks. I think it's to give his cavalry the edge over here, because the Vityas, I think, will be able to beat the Deinsloot in melee. But it looks like the melee cav is going to be moving forwards to maybe get rid of this Devore. However, yeah, he has to be careful because the Devore do have a pretty decent range. So it would be bad to lose a cavalry unit to archers like that. So what is he focusing on here? Looks like they're off fire at will for now, but yes, that's exactly what he's doing. He's going for the pikemen. And it looks actually like they're already in range, so this is a big problem here. Yeah, pikemen are going to try and pull back, but they are taking a few losses as they do that. turning their backs on the archers. But I think HOENN's just being pretty patient here. He doesn't want to move all of his units in right away because that could make him susceptible to being outflanked on either side here. But it looks like the general is being fired upon by this unit of crossbows, the HAMDOGC infantry here. HOENN isn't going to move in, though, because I think HAMDOGC's using this crossbow unit as bait to try to get his cavalry to come in, and then he's just going to close the jaws with the Austrian Ritter. And he's also got the Assaultner and the Bergman of the early period very close by as well. But here we go. It looks like the spear wall is moving. HOENN is firing into the Pavis Bergmannen, but there's really not much point. Oh, yeah, and they're going to get a nice Pila throw into the Devore. Actually, not taking that many losses, considering they've used almost all their ammo. That's kind of annoying. I would have thought they killed a lot more than that, but it was probably, let me see, 3 kills there, 4 kills there, and 9 kills there. So, yeah, not that great. I bet you HAMDOGC's wishing he had some of his axemen here right now instead of the Pavis Bergmannen. They seem to just rack up the kills. But yeah, he's using his Pila with the Assaultner. That's what he's planning to do here. But they're going to be throwing their axes into... Oh, it looks like they're throwing it into the Devore. The Drazina not really taking many losses, though. And here goes the Assaultner. They are moving into melee against 3 units, almost 4 units of Drazina. Interesting, though, that we're attacking in waves here, so it looks like HAMDOGC sending his high period Assaultner to take on the entire line, and then I guess he is moving his spears to kind of support them there. But he needs to get this unit of early period Bergmannen over here because these 2 units of Drazina could flank around his mainline infantry. The dismounted Drazina over here, they could be peeled off as well. Got the Rus heavy spear militia over here kind of out in the open. The Deinslut leading the way here. The Austrian Ritter close behind. We've got the General's bodyguard over here as well. But yeah, here we go. So we've got the Drazina who've actually pushed out to attack these Pavis Bergmannen here. They are in shield wall, which is good, but that's kind of locked them in place so that the 2 units of cavalry can move around the flanks here. And the Rus heavy spear militia isn't really needed over on this flank, so it looks like HOENN is moving them over to the other side. But we've got a cavalry charge over here. The Vityas moving into the Deinslut, and they did not get a counter charge off. So that is a bit of a problem, but the Austrian Ritter over here is probably going to be going for the General's bodyguard. HOENN is trying to get him out of the way, but it's too late. He is locked in melee. And yeah, it looks like the Assaultner are breaking, but the Pavis Bergmannen are holding strong. And we've got the pikemen moving forwards here. Now, these Landsknecht are what's going to turn the battle for HAMDOGC, because these dismounted Drazina, they're only tier 1, so the pikemen should be able to do pretty well. However, HAMDOGC's flank over here really is only protected by 1 unit of Austrian Ritter. I think he's going to try and grab both of these units of cavalry so that they aren't able to flank around, but it looks like the 1 unit has got a rear charge onto them. The 2nd unit, HOENN is microing at another area of the battlefield, I'd imagine, but this unit of cavalry is going to get cut down from the side, being fired upon by the HAMDOGC infantry, so he needs to kind of pay attention to what's going on over there. But a huge hit over here by the Duke's Hairchild as well, the Devore. All 3 units kind of getting grabbed here, and look at this, the Khan's Guard over here breaking and luckily returning, but I would not be sending him back into melee if I was HOENN over here. Get him out of there. Same over here. It looks like the Duke... Oh, there goes HOENN's general, and it looks like the Duke's Hairchild over here getting a huge hit into the backs of the Drazina. And the Landsknecht over here, they're in a pretty terrible position. They're getting fired upon. Still doesn't notice this cavalry over here, and the Marche over here is actually grabbed one of the units of Vityas in melee. But okay, so there we go. That is HAMDOGC's general gone as well. So both of them losing their general's bodyguards with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go. But the main line is pretty even, I would say. These pikemen are in a little bit of a bad position, but they are racking up kills, now at 80 kills. And the dismounted Drazina in the center are breaking. But we've got the dismounted Drazina here in the Rus Heavy Spear Militia not really doing too much. So HOENN needs to kind of spread his line out a little bit more here. But okay, this is pretty bad for HAMDOG. It looks like a lot of his units are breaking due to the general being gone. But this unit of Vityaz over here was shattered by the Marche. So well done by them. That's a very cheap unit that is getting rid of a very expensive unit of cavalry. Apologies for talking so much, guys. There's just so much that's going on in this battlefield right now. But HOENN is going to get a rear charge here on the dismounted Ritter. It looks like the Ritter did try to turn around and grab those dismounted Drazina before they could get a solid charge on them. But they are outflanked nonetheless. And yeah, it looks like HOENN is kind of winning over here on the flanks. So it looks like a loss for HAMDOG here. I'm not sure. There is still 5 minutes left in the battle, so things can definitely turn around. 54 men left in the Landsknecht, but they have broken, but not before killing 130 Rus. And the Pavi Spears here just holding strong. Only 14 kills, though. That's the problem with bringing a lot of spears, is they will hold your front line for quite some time, but you need to be able to win on the flanks so you can get around and get some rear charges, because the Pavi's Bergman, they just don't get many kills, unfortunately. This unit over here that is in square, it will hold for quite some time, but it's only got 3 kills, so it's basically just a holding unit. The early period over here getting 38 kills, so that's pretty solid. It looks like they may actually... oh, no, never mind. I was going to say they may break the Rus Heavy Spear Militia, but now the Bergmannen have shattered. And we've got a unit of Vityaz over here that is going to try and grab those Trabantin before they get any more kills. But the balance of power pretty heavily in HOENN Master's favor, with 1,100 men to 611 for HAMDOG's Austrian force. And we've got the Devor over here, almost out of ammo, but still firing down onto the Trabantin over here, trying to get some kills. But it looks like the Trabantin are focusing the Vityaz over here. I think this is HOENN's last unit of cavalry. HAMDOG does have a unit of Austrian Ritter here, which is good, and his unit of dismounted Ritter over on this flank. But it's basically just a holding game now, I think, with all of his, well, 2 of his units in square formation. But I think their morale still holds strong while in square. It doesn't really matter if they get outflanked, so they can hold for quite some time. This unit will be outflanked, though. I think maybe some of these Devor will be firing into the backs of the Pavi's Bergmannen. Yeah, the dismounted Drazina getting a ton of kills, so for a tier 1 unit, they are pretty solid. And there we go, we've got the Drazina engaging the Hanseatic infantry in melee, and we've got the dismounted Ritter charging in as well. And I think that the Austrian Ritter is going to get rid of this unit, not too sure where it's going for. Actually, a lot of these Devor are pretty defenseless, and they are out of ammo, so I think it is a safe time for the Austrian Ritter to move in. But it looks like this one had one more shot in it, and it did do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, that unit of dismounted Drazina should be dead. But we've got the Vityaz closing in behind. Could get a nice solid charge here and break at least 2 of those units. But with the cavalry close by, I don't think HOENN is ready yet. Let's get some zoom-ins here now. It's not too much more tactics involved in the battle, I don't think, so we can get a nice zoom-in here. And the Pavi's Bergmannen taking on the hordes of the Kievan Rus. I say it's too bad that HOENN did not bring any of the British Axemen, but at the same time, you know, they're 1,100 gold. And would they really have been as effective as, you know, 2 or possibly 3 units of dismounted Drazina? Probably not. But they just look so cool. Oh, there we go. We got the Devor flanking around the Pavi's Bergmannen here. Got some more Drazina. Trying to break this shield, or this square shield wall here. This is what's good about the Pavis Bergmannen, is that they can hold for so long. And see, that's how you can use spears effectively. Look how many units HOENN has to commit to these 3 units of Bergmannen. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units to 3. So if HAMDOG had one on the flanks, he would have been able to get a ton of rear charges on all of these units. And being tier 1, their morale really isn't that great. So he could have shattered a lot of them. It's just the problem is that HAMDOG lost on the flanks. Or he won on this flank over here, but he lost on this flank. And I think he had most of his cavalry on this flank anyways. So it was a valiant effort. It's Austrian Ritter over here, 142 kills. This unit of Vitzias, though, 120. But these spears just holding out. Their morale is holding. 46 morale, 43, 40 for them. 20 seconds left in the battle. I think everybody's just going to start wavering. As soon as the cavalry goes, I think it's going to affect the morale of the spears nearby it. Yep, there we go. Starting to see some wavering here. Yep, there was the next 2, and that is it. So, a victory under the belt for HOENN Master. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results here. Close victory. But yeah, really decent kills for Tier 1 infantry here. 79, 72, 62. And then those Devore also racking up a ton of kills. These 2 units of cavalry, not that much. And the Khan's Guard getting cut down pretty early on. But this unit did well. And then for HAMDOG, see, it's just the spear line it can hold, but it just doesn't really get many kills. 65 is actually pretty awesome for a spear unit. 130 for this unit, but this unit got caught out. And his mainline infantry really didn't do too well. 2 of the crossbows not bad, and this unit of Austrian Ritter doing pretty solid. So, yeah, with even man count, I think it was just mainly the Devore line, or the Drzina line, sorry, that just held pretty effectively. But that is it for the first battle, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. So now we come to the second battle between HOENN Master and HAMDOGCDXX. HOENN Master is up 1, so if HAMDOG does lose this one, he is eliminated from the tournament, and HOENN Master will move on to the finals. So we're looking at HOENN Master's army first, and he is playing as the Duchy of Bavaria. And he's got these really nice Bavarian Ritter of the High Period here. They look awesome in the snow. But he has 3 units of them. And we'll just kind of zoom out and overview his army here. So he's got, I believe, 4 units of these Landwehr. And he has, I think, 2 units of the dismounted Ritter. Yeah, 2 units of them. And then for his main line, he has 5 units of the Soldner of the High Period. Here is the rest of his Landwehr, so he's got 3 here and 1 over on that flank. And then he has an Soldner of the early period over on this flank with his general's bodyguard, who is the Duke's Hairchild. So that would be this gentleman right here. Duke's Hairchild of the late period. And for his archers, he's gone for 4 units of the Trebentin. Late period archers. Heavy bow infantry. They don't have the best armor-piercing damage, but they've got excellent armor. So, again, they should be able to hold up against crossbows. With that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at HAMDOG's forces. He is spread out kind of across this entire valley here. Very wide formations for his units. But he's playing as the Duchy of Brabant. And he has more of the infantry now for his main line. He's got 7 units of the Soldner of the High Period. So he's got, I think, 6 of them, or 5 of them in the front lines, and then 2 right in behind. And he has 2 units of High Period Bergmannen, and then he has 2 units of Early Period Bergmannen. So he's got 1 there and 1 in the center. He's going for his 2 units of Landsknecht again, and he's got 2 units of Dismounted Ritter, and these guys are Late Period polearms. So hopefully he can keep them away from the enemy Trebentin, and if he can, and can get some good flanking with these guys done, then they should be able to get a decent amount of kills. For his cavalry, though, he's gone for an elite unit of Barbarian Ritter. He has 3 units of them. And then for his general's bodyguard, he's got the Duke's Hairchild early period. And I have to say, the early period Ritter look amazing. These guys for Brave Band, like with the black and gold, really, really cool looking. I love this general here. Sorry, I gotta take a screenshot of that. He looks awesome. Because the Holy Roman Empire, they've got mostly yellow with gold, and these are kind of just like mirror. So, Brave Band. Instead of having the mostly yellow with the black lion, the Brabantian cavalry has all black with a yellow lion. Looks really, really awesome. But I think that they are just waiting to rest up their troops because they did deploy in a different area of the battlefield this time. But much shorter than last battle, so this one probably does kind of take off as soon as they decide to move forwards. But yeah, we're just waiting until everybody is fresh again because some of HAMDOG's units were actually exhausted from running so much. But I am hearing some men moving forwards. Yeah, it looks like HOENN's right flank is moving kind of to line up a little bit with his main line. And over here it's the same. Looking at the man count, it's exactly the same at 2018 and 2018. And you are seeing this battle in 2018. So, Illuminati confirmed? I don't know. But we've got the Travantan moving forwards. I neglected to mention this, but HAMDOG actually has no units of archers or crossbows at all in this battle. So he is definitely going to have to be aggressive here because HOENN has spent quite a decent amount of money on these Travantan. So I think that where HAMDOG put most of his money is with the Brabantian Ritter. If I'm not mistaken, I think they are 1,200 gold per one. So that's 1, 2, 3 plus 3 is 9. Do some quick maths here. That's almost 4,000 gold for his cavalry alone. Meanwhile, the Bavarian Ritter over here only high period, so they're probably a little cheaper. They're probably 900 or 1,000. So not saving too much, but he's saving enough. But yeah, here we go. HAMDOG moving his forces forwards. I think he's trying to get them into melee as quickly as possible. That's why he doesn't have them in shield wall. But I think that they may actually be in loose formation as well, which is a good call. But the Travantan, oh yeah, getting some good shots into this one unit of Assaultner as it tries to make its way into melee. And the Travantan are going to pull back. That was a little premature. I think that they could have gotten one more shot in before the Assaultner kind of made it into melee. But with HAMDOG seeing that now, he is moving his units a little bit closer. Keep in mind, though, that HOENN also has the same exact units. So where all of these axes are being thrown, HOENN does have the ability to throw these axes. However, he was not able to throw them. Reason being is because when they're in shield wall, you do not have access to that ranged attack. But this is a little bit concerning for HAMDOG because all of these Assaultner here are not in shield wall, and they're taking on a unit of the exact same that are in shield wall. So I think that HOENN's units will be able to hold out. And look at this, we've got the Landwehr pushing in to aid the Assaultner of the high period that are in shield wall. But HAMDOG's forces have engaged over here as well. We've got the Spears engaging two of the dismounted, the one dismounted Ritter and the Assaultner. But it looks like this unit of Bavarian Ritter here is going to get a nice rear charge, and HAMDOG's cavalry is too far away to be able to stop that. And this is a massive problem. Already his entire line is starting to waver. Where is the other cavalry? Yeah, so HOENN's cavalry is way over here, but I think HAMDOG realizes right away what's going on. And oh no, this is going to be a huge charge into the Assaultner here as well. They did get a nice Pila throw, which is good into the cavalry, but now the cavalry should be able to rout them. The numbers dropping from 120 to 70 with that charge. And it looks like we've got one of the unit of Brabantian Ritter over here taking on both of the Bavarian Ritter, and we've got the General, the Duke's Hairchild, kind of flanking around. But over here, we've got the late period General fighting the Brabantian Ritter. I think that HOENN's General will last a little bit longer here now, though, because he does have the late period. And he also has some free units of Assaultner to send in there as well. So this is really not going well for HAMDOG. I think just that main cavalry charge into the backs of his lines have really tipped the scales. And we've got 1,900 men for Bavaria, 1,500 men for Brabant. He does have some of his Bergman going in here, so hopefully it will give his cavalry the edge to win that battle. And we do have the dismounted Ritter over here against the... so we got late period Ritter against high period Ritter. A huge hit by the Duke's Hairchild here into the backs of this Landwehr unit. And look at how many men it is slaughtered there. That unit actually probably will rout off the battlefield. So good battlefield awareness there by HAMDOG, but look at this. His main line has just been shattered. Oh, that is not good. Good positioning on the Landsknecht, though, holding back the Assaultner and the Bavarian Ritter. He does have some of his own cavalry in place here, but I would try to get that cavalry out of there because they're not really engaged, and see if I could get around and get at some of those archers. But it looks like he is losing on this flank as well. This unit of dismounted Ritter over here with 1 kill. It's already active, so it looks like it was quite a ways away. That is the risk that you kind of take with very wide formations that span the battlefield, is that if HOENN does sneak a unit of cav through like that and then get a rear charge, you have no cavalry to be able to retaliate quick enough. But HAMDOG did manage to break that unit of Landwehr there. So the General's Bodyguard, Duke's Hairchild, only an early period general with 108 kills. So that is pretty solid. HOENN's line is starting to waver a little bit, just due to the Landsknecht being in decent positions, better positions than last time. However, the Trabanten over here have almost full ammo, and now they are focusing the General's Bodyguard over here, the Duke's Hairchild. Yeah, because he's an early period general, he is going to take quite a bit of damage there. Oh, man. Oh, no. Just a slaughter. Oh, nice charge, though. That was satisfying even for me to watch. Can't believe they're focusing the general. Come on now. But looks like the Duke's Hairchild over here in the late period has won on this flank. So HAMDOG is in a bit of trouble now. The 2 units of pikemen would be able to hold here for quite some time, I think. They are cracking the high period Assaultner here. This unit isn't in the best position because you can see there are some units that are flanking around. But with the General's Bodyguard dying there, that is not a good sign for HAMDOG. He is still muscling through this Bavarian Ritter here, the Brabantian Ritter, only with 10 kills, but it is holding against 2 units of Bavarian Ritter. But with the General's Bodyguard dead there, it's only a matter of time before his units decide to rout. And yeah, here we go. We've got the Assaultner flanking around the pikemen, and that's going to be more than they can handle. They will be breaking very shortly. This unit of pikemen actually isn't even in melee yet. It needs to be pushed forwards just a little bit more. It could wreck this unit of Landwehr. This unit of Assaultner over here as well. Just kind of sitting here. I think the HAMDOG is microwing in other areas of the battlefield. We've got the General, the Duke's Hairchild over here. The dismounted Ritter closing in, but it looks like, oh, that's so disappointing. The Brabantian Ritter getting out of there, or breaking just in time. I thought that HOENN would bring his general out, but it looks like he is going to be caught in melee. But we've got a decently close battle. I mean, HOENN's down to 900 men now to 500 men. So with that early general kill for HAMDOG, his men are holding quite well. And look at this. He's lost quite a bit on his Duke's Hairchild unit there, pulling out from that engagement with the dismounted Ritter. So that was a risky move. He could have lost his general there. And yes, just like I was saying, the Landsknecht just destroying the Landwehr. Now they are going to try to run at these Trabanten and try and get into melee with them, because the archers stand no chance against the pikemen. But it looks like there was a depleted unit there that was able to stop the pikemen, and because they're so depleted, a lot of the pikes on the flanks are exposed, so they will be probably shot to pieces. But yeah, if HAMDOG's general hadn't have died, I think that it would have been much, much closer. Like, look over here, the Brabantian Ritter breaking the next unit of Bavarian Ritter, and probably the dismounted Ritter over here are next, but it looks like they are wavering just due to the amount of casualties they've sustained. So HOENN walking away with the victory with 700 men left. Well, 780 men left. So looking at the kills, the cheaper Landwehr not doing too bad there. General only 28 kills, but these two units very well done, because these dismounted Ritter, if they get focused down by archers, they're pretty much dead. And for the early period Assaultner, 110 kills as well. High kills on some of the high period. This unit of Brabantian Ritter did well, but these two units that were caught in melee by the Brabantian Ritter, suffering. Hamdog over here, 134 with his general, which is solid. Good use of the pikes there. He got a lot of kills, and this unit of dismounted Ritter, 164. But that Assaultner charge was just devastating. Sending all of his units in against these units in shield wall, and then HOENN just snuck that unit of cavalry behind and hit, I think, at least 3 units of the Assaultner of the high period there. The Brabantian Ritter did really solidly. They held their own, but they just got tied down for too long, I think was the problem. So it looks like HOENN Master is moving on to the final. So hopefully I will have Cassius versus Gearhawk out very shortly for you guys, I think by Friday, because Gearhawk works all week. And then we will find out who is the victor and who will be winning a copy of Thrones of Britannia, which is coming out in, I think, about 10 days. And really excited to start my new campaign with them as well. So thanks very much, guys, for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And I will see you in the next one.